Hello, lovely people. Thank you for watching this video. My name is Roel. I'm a health and nutrition coach, and I post these videos to help people to be as healthy as they can be and to offer a little bit of motivation. Hope you're all having a lovely weekend. That is if you're watching this when I post it, which is normally on a Sunday. We've had a great weekend. Yesterday we watched some local rugby and that was good fun, even though it was pissing it down all day. But that's sort of part of the course when you watch rugby. It's not normally nice weather. And today we had a nice time going to the gym to start with, and then we went to the cinema and we watched a great film, and I highly recommend it if you get a chance to see it. I think it's a little bit off mainstream, and it's the recording of a Talking Heads concert. I think it was in the 80s, and it has been that it's a film that was created a long time ago, but they've sort of rejigged it, maybe technically enhanced it, and it was fabulous. I'm not even a massive fan of live music, but this was amazing, so I do recommend if you have a chance to watch it, go and watch it. It's called Stop Making Sense, and I think David Byrne is a genius, and I think you'll enjoy it. Right, so today's video, back to let's bring it back to health, because that's what these videos are all about. I would like to share a few fitness hacks for busy lives. I do realise that not everybody is as keen on going to the gym and staying fit as I am, and that's okay. Because there's plenty of opportunity for you to move your body and to get all the benefits of being physically active. You don't have to change into Lycra, you don't have to become a member of a gym or do some boot camp in a park. There are loads of things that you can do to improve your strength and your fitness in your daily life. In fact, you have a massive opportunity in your daily life to increase your fitness and your strength, because think about it. If you were into exercise and you would do that regularly, say even if you did that every day, which is excessive, but say you would do something like go to the gym or a class every day, you would do that for what, 45 minutes, 1 hour? Unless you're a professional athlete, you're not going to do that 6 hours a day. So say you do that for 1 hour, which you probably won't. Then there's still 15 awake hours left in the day to move your body. So if you don't want to go to the gym or join a class, then you still have a lot of time in the day and opportunity to move your body to improve your fitness and your strength. And even more so, I would say, than somebody who goes to the gym in the morning and then sits on their ass all day. So really take that opportunity and get into that mindset of finding opportunities to move your muscles during your daily life activity without prepping for it or getting ready for it, booking it. And yeah, I'm such a massive fan of doing that, because the benefits are amazing. They are just as good as the benefits of going to the gym. Now, I will say that the hacks I'm going to share with you today, they're not to replace a fitness regime, a strength and fitness regime in the gym or classes. So I'm not saying it's the same. I'm just saying by doing that, you could get amazing results. And it's up to you whether you want to join a class or go to the gym. You should always do what suits you and what you think that you will stick with. And if you don't like doing something, you're not going to keep on doing it. So what is the point? This sort of non-exercise activity actually has a name. It's called NEAT, as in NEAT, and that stands for non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And so that's all the calories that you burn whilst being physically active but not doing exercise. Now, if you've watched these videos before, you'll probably know that I'm not a massive fan of this whole calorie in, calorie out theory. I'm not saying that if you shed loads of calories and you don't move your backside that you're not going to put on weight. I know that, I'm not stupid, but it is way more complicated than that, so I'm not that interested in that whole discussion. But being physically active has so many benefits for your health, both mentally and physically, that it is super, super important to do it. And of course, most importantly, it will help to control your blood glucose levels, and these are absolutely vital for your health. So that's just what I wanted to say before I share these tips. I don't want you to think, oh, this is going to be the same as getting a personal trainer and doing some specific weight and aerobic exercises. But it can make a massive difference. So I'm just going to share them with you. I've got 10, but you know what I'm like with keeping track of these numbers. So I'm just going to shout them out. I'll try to do the numbering, but you know what's going to happen. So, and before you start rolling your eyes, some of these things are pretty obvious, but there's often a disconnect between what you know and what you do. So just then, if you feel it's bloody obvious, just use it as a checklist to see that you are actually doing that stuff, because you may know it, but you may not be doing it. And this is a great example. Number one, walk up the stairs or the escalators. Don't just stand on the escalators or take the lift. Walk up, because this is a massive opportunity to work the muscles in your upper legs, and it can really help to improve your cardiovascular fitness and capability, and it strengthens all the muscles in your legs. So that's a very easy one, and I know you know that already, but are you actually doing it? And also, again, I mean, these studies, I don't mind mentioning them if it inspires you, but I would often just just bear in mind that these studies are not the absolute truth all the time. But a study was done by, was it Duke University? I'm just looking at my notes. And they did a study, and it said 2 flights a day over a year can lead to almost 3 kilograms of weight loss and boost your aerobic capacity. So there you go. If that fires you up, then have it. Number 2, sit on the floor when you're watching the telly, or when you're doing something else that will allow you to sit on the floor, because you're going to engage a few muscles that you may not be engaging when you sit on a sofa or a chair. When you sit on the floor, and especially if you sit upright, you will engage your core muscles, and you can also then use that to maybe do a little bit of gentle stretching. You could sit cross-legged and then stretching your inner thigh muscles. You could even, when you sit cross-legged, add a little stretch to that and move forward and stretch your arms out, so you get an enhanced stretch, and you get a little bit of a stretch in your glutes as well. So this can be really helpful to maintain your mobility, and also to engage these core muscles as well. So these tips that I'm sharing with you today, they're not just to improve your strength or your aerobic capacity, but also to increase your flexibility and your mobility, without which it would be really difficult to stay fit and do all the other stuff that you want to do to increase your muscle tissue and your aerobic fitness. So you can sit with your legs straight in front of you, and then maybe do a little bit of forward stretching. Also really good to stretch oh gosh, I'm wobbling my video, I do apologize. To stretch the hamstrings at the back of the legs, so really encourage that. You can also, if you want to level up a little bit, sit in a bit of a squat, which is actually the way that we should naturally be sitting. When you think back, your ancestors, the hunter-gatherers, they wouldn't really have sofas, and they would often just hunch and sit in a squat position. And so amazing exercise for the muscles in your legs and your core as well. Number 3, You can use the stairs not just for walking up, but you can also use them for calf raises. So calf raises are basically just getting up on your toes and down again. And if you use the stairs, then you can go down even further than if you would just do calf raises on the floor. So this is a really effective way to strengthen your calf muscles, of course, but also hamstrings. So just stand on the balls of your feet on a step or edge of the bottom step maybe, or any step, doesn't really matter. And then just lower your heels as far as possible, and then come up again. Number 4, stand on one leg when you're brushing your teeth. So this is really good for engaging a whole load of muscles, but also really good to maintain and increase your balance, and that is super, super important. So hold on to the sink to start with if you feel that your balance is not great, of course. I normally try to stand on one leg when I brush the bottom teeth, and then change legs when I do the top. But of course, it all depends on how long you can stand on one leg for, so try that out. And if it gets really easy, then maybe close your eyes when you do it. That makes it much harder, and so you can really level that up again. The next one is number 5, I think, and these are wall press-ups. So they're not real press-ups. I mean, real press-ups would be on the floor, or maybe on a little bit of a raised surface, but they are still very effective, and you take away a lot of resistance of doing it, because you're probably more likely to do wall press-ups than you are dropping down chest to the floor and do some actual proper press-ups. So every time you see a free space of wall, or when you're waiting for something, maybe you're waiting for the kettle to boil, or something else, just place your hands in front of you against the wall, shoulder height, and you can put them wide or you can put them narrow. If you put them narrow, you're going to work the triceps, the bingo wings a little bit more. If you put them wide, you're going to work the pecs, the chest a little bit more, but it's all good. You're going to work your core a little bit as well. So place your hands against the wall, and then the closer you are to the wall, the easier it is. So that's where you start and see how it feels. And if that's easy, then move your feet further away from the wall, and make sure you do not bend from the hips. So your body is in a completely straight line. And if these were your hips, you don't want to be like that. You want to keep complete straight body, like an ironing board, and then just bend your elbows and move your body close to the wall. And that is an amazing exercise, really great for upper body strength and for core strength as well. Number 6 is sit to stand. So you can easily practice this. You could set yourself a little goal this week and say, every time I'm going to sit down, I'm actually not going to sit down all the way. I'm going to sit down nearly all the way and get back up again. Or you could sit down all the way and then get up again without using your arms to get you up. This can be challenging, so if you find it difficult, of course, then use your arm rests, but focus on using your legs to get up, and only use your arms to help if you need to. And then as you keep on doing this, you'll find that you get stronger, and that you will be able to do it without using the arm rest, or use them less. And so the ultimate aim, but not many people can do that, is to sit on the floor and get up without using your arms. And this is super challenging, so I'm not even going to seriously talk about it. But yeah, if people who can do that apparently live longer, if that's what you want. But just doing that sort of sit down, stand up, and sit down. So every time you sit down, just sit down and stand back up again without using your arms, or as little as possible, and sit down again. You are working your muscles a lot. Number 7, circle your feet. So you have a lot of opportunity to do that. So I can just do that now whilst I'm sitting. Just circle, draw circles with your toes, one direction, then the other direction. And it wouldn't be too weird if you did this in an office. And a lot of people work from home now anyway, so you can do this whilst you're in a Teams meeting. I'm doing it now and you can't see me doing this. And don't forget to go in all directions, and this will really stimulate circulation as well, which is of course really important. but it works muscles as well. But I think this one's probably better for just improving your circulation. And by not doing this and by sitting down, you will really negatively affect your circulation, and that's not good for anything. Number 8 would be to stand up or walk around every time you're on the phone. If you're having a meeting, and you don't have to be on camera, because if you're on camera it's a little bit distracting for other people if you're walking around. But yeah, just standing up will engage way more muscles than sitting down, and it's such an easy thing to get into by just standing up when you're on the phone or walking around a little bit. Number 9 is to stretch daily. Super important for your flexibility and your mobility, and if you lose that, then you're less likely to do any physical activity because it becomes difficult and painful maybe. So really try to do that daily stretching, and it's not challenging, it's super easy. The challenge is to remember to do it. That's the challenge. And I use habit stacking for that. So what that means is that I link it to something else that I already do on a regular basis. So if I want to do my daily stretching, I will link it to something that I already do on a daily basis. So when I come into the kitchen every morning, I will put the kettle on, and every time I do that first boil of the kettle in the morning, I do a little bit of stretching, and that's all it takes. I'm not talking about a 20-minute stretch session. I'm just talking about a little bit of stretching whilst the water is boiling. So see if you can touch your toes, just turn your body in every direction, do a little bit of a neck stretch, look up, look down, look to the left, look to the right, roll your head around. You could do a little bit of a shoulder stretch. There's so many ways to stretch, and you can't really go wrong unless you push beyond what feels comfortable. Maybe look it up, and if you have any questions about any of these exercises, or if you really don't know what to do with regards to your exercise regime, or I should say physical activity regime, because it doesn't have to be exercise, like I said before, feel free to contact me. I'm happy to do a Zoom with you. I am a fitness instructor, and I'm also qualified to work with people with health conditions, so feel free to ask, and we'll talk through it. It's important that you have an idea of what to do. Where were we? Number 9 was the stretching. We're nearly there. Number 10, and that is to walk whilst you're sitting. That sounds a bit weird because you think, how can I walk whilst I'm sitting? But it's basically just sit up tall, engage your core, and just walk your feet on the spot. And you have so many opportunities during the day to do that, basically every time when you sit down. And this works a whole load of muscles in your upper legs, your glutes, your core. So these things, they don't seem like much, but they make a big difference. So give that a go, and let me know if you feel that makes a difference. I would be interested to hear that. Of course, there are hundreds. I've got hundreds more. I haven't even, I've mentioned the wall press-ups for the upper body, but there are loads more. Whilst you're watching Netflix, you could do air rows, you can do stick-ups. There's so much you can do. So if you need any more suggestions, feel free to contact me, and I'm happy to help you. I hope you found that useful. Let me know if you did or if you didn't, and set yourself a little goal, maybe around what I spoke about today, something that you're going to do this week. And if you need a little bit of help with the goal setting, if you find it really difficult to think of a goal or how you can make that actually work, how you can actually make yourself do it, I have a free document, a workbook actually, that can help you with identifying your goals and setting them, and actually executing them and reaching your targets. So let me know if you want that resource, and I will also put the link below this video, and you can click on it and get your own workbook for that. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to set yourself a little goal. I always do that on a Sunday, and today's no different. It doesn't take long, but it makes such a difference, and you always be in action mode, you always be doing something. So this week I am going to do breathing exercises every day. They are super helpful, and really good for your mental health. It makes you feel really grounded, and there are some other benefits as well. It's not just mental health, it helps on a physical level as well. The breathing exercises can really help to regulate your heart rate and your blood pressure. I use, I wouldn't call it an app, it's more like, I don't know, what would you call it? A service? I mean, check it out if you want to. You could easily do it by yourself. You could also go on YouTube, and there's hundreds of different types of breathing exercises that you can do, like box breathing, or have a little look and see what appeals to you. But I'm using this thing called 555. So I'm sure if you Google 555, you will, well, you probably also find some other stuff, but hopefully you'll find, maybe add breathing to it as well. It's a service offered on a platform called School. If I can find the link, I'll put it down below. But so my aim is that every weekday, this week, coming week, I will do 5 minutes of breath work at the beginning of each day. Right, thank you for watching, and I'm really looking forward to seeing you again next week. Lots of love. Bye.